Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, and today I'm here to do what I'd like to make a habit of every year is annual board game collection report 2022. So we'll talk about what games I've got, what I've played. I'm going to try not to dwell too much on what I used to own, but I also want to look at some games that I'm looking to get next year and one that I have coming next week. And I'll just get this out of the way with tabletop games in general. I've done nothing with my RPGs. Um, just I keep looking through them. I keep thinking maybe I'd like to run a game someday. It's just a matter of getting people together and having the time to think up an idea for a scenario or whatever. That's probably one of the things I want to work on next year. It's one of my New Year's resolutions is expand my capacity for social activity, perhaps beyond the game store. It's going to take money that I really don't have right now, but it's something. Um, well, it goes well in February with my taxes. I should have more of a budget to work with. But the big thing with that is I need to replace my computer and everything else. Also, in tabletop games are my own designs, which there's another resolution I want to consider is testing out my game ideas. I've got out unnamed which game. It's probably going to be the one that has the best odds of getting any interest from people as kind of a, you know, see, most of my other game designs involve like combat in some form or another. This is like the one that's just more, a little more casual-ish. Um, yeah, they're trying to get witches into the cities where you need them to build your stores of the kinds that you need to score. Um, but yeah, I want to test out the games that I have designed right now, and I want to finish the design I'm working on right now. Dodeca Mecha, which will be interesting. Um, Surprised I got kind of uh, excited about making that one. I was looking at my random pieces. I was feeling kind of down. I was just, you know what? I'm gonna work on this, and maybe working on it will help me feel a little bit better. And it did help me feel a little bit better. It's nice. Now I just need to finish the whole thing. But yeah. So annual board game collection report 2022. Games that I currently have and whether or not I played them. So start off with my line of sight here. I have War Chest, which I'm probably going to hold on to, but I really need to freaking play it. It's a two-player game. I want to play my two-player games more. I've got chess and shogi and go and backgammon. They desperately need some love, you know. But it's kind of hard sometimes with the game store. Although I've seen times where two-player games do happen. But anyways, Starlight Stage, I've gotten to play at least once, possibly twice this year for the Board Game League. I'm going to hold on to it, of course. It's just a nice little game. Um, Sometimes it might be hard to tell people in the art. It, it would be nice if there's, a little more chatter during the times we play and just. I don't know what it is about playing that just people are just kind of head down, thinking super hard about stuff, and just you don't really need to think too hard with that one. A lot of these could benefit from just talking at the table a little bit more. Then, well, that's something I got to work on too. Anima, the card game, the first two sets. Uh, I'm hoping I can find the third set someday. Twilight of the Gods is really hard to find for cheap. Um, haven't played it with the current group this year. It might be something for next year, but it is a very random game. MIL, which I got this year from a fellow gamer. Um, it's one that'll be interesting to play, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work with the current board game league group. Actually, the whole board game league itself, I'm just starting to doubt whether or not I should stick with it while I'm trying to find people, or spend more time on trying to get my own games tested and not mess with the league. League went up to like $20 last time, and I just wasn't really feeling it. So I will see. We'll see how next year pans out. Infamy, which I actually got to test once this year outside the league. I've yet to play it in the league, but that might be one to do so because we have a small enough group. But it seems like our group. Okay, so the weekly group is like around 4 or 5 people, depending on what's going on. I don't know what it's gonna take to get people in, and just for crying out loud, it's just there's the free table rentals on Tuesday. Just come in and play a board game freely on that day, and maybe talk to the people with the league, and just get to know each other and decide if you want to go for the league or not. No pressure. Splendor. It's another decent 4-player game that I've played at least a few times this year. I've yet to test out the Stronghold module out of the cities. But overall, it's just a nice, quick little game. Planet Steam, which I just got after previously owning it before. That's probably one. Okay, that game can be a bit on the long side, I think. But it might just be long enough for the league to be interesting to test it out. I might bring it in this coming week. We'll see. Shadowhunters, which I didn't get to play it this year. I played it last year, around this time last year. Before the league picked up again, and it's a fun little game. Definitely recommend it if you can afford it and find a copy, because damn, the game is expensive. Citadels, which I personally like, and I played it a few times this year. As I've said before, some people aren't too keen on it, but I recommend it as just a fairly quick, somewhat simple game of just building your city. Call to Adventure, I've played for the League this year at least once. I mainly like it for the solo mode. I know there's an expansion out, Epic Origins. Okay, there's 3 expansions: Name of the Wind, Stormlight Archive, and now Epic Origins. I'm tempted to get Epic Origins, but it's a long shot. Hiroshima Hex, which I've played in previous years, but not this year. I just got this copy again this year. After my last copy that I ended up selling. And it's the previous edition, not the recent one. So it's a lot of the older stuff. But I do have the printed out Doomsday Machine expansion, thankfully. I got that applied to cardstock. I almost want to laminate the damn thing. New Angeles, which I've gotten to play this year once. I think it was a weekend event. And yeah, I can't really do that one for the league because of the possibility of multiple winners or no winners. Yeah, the big stipulation in the board game league is there has to be one winner. And a cooperative or semi-cooperative kind of game like that is not going to fly. Cutthroat Caverns might have, but then again, there's that possibility that nobody wins on that one. Endeavor, which is always a quick, simple game to bring out and play. I've played it at least once, probably twice this year. Maybe even 3 times. It might have been a once a week thing that I've done. Endeavor is a game I want to hold on to because I do not want to have to look for another one. I know Age of Sail is out. I know Deep Sea is coming, or it's out. I don't know. I think Deep Sea is a next year project. But I'm just going to hold on to the copy that I have. Mahjong, which I've never played. I want to. I really freaking want to. I played the card game Rummy before, so that's kind of where I'm coming from on that end. So playing with the tiles seems like a lot more fun than just cards. I don't know, but that's just me. Heart of Crown. I don't think I got to play it this year. Actually, I think I got to play it once. But it's a game where you want to have a lot of sessions of it to try out the various combinations, especially with expansions. It's another anime visuals game like Starlight Stage that it's some people might be cool with, others maybe not. Anachronism, which I just got again this year after previously owning stuff for it. I've not played it this year, but I'd like to maybe find some more things for it and make a weekend out of just playing the game with someone. It's with the map that I've got for it, I could play it with 4 players. I have enough stuff to just play a 4-player game of the same personalities. But even then, players could try different ones each time. Um, Soccer Arms, which I've held on to for a long ass time, and I'm probably not going to give up. I know there's a new edition out. I'm really, really tempted, but that is over $100, and that's not even getting into card sleeves to get all 3 sets. Um, that's with what I have for it. I could potentially have 6 people playing, and that's 6 people playing 3 1v1 duels at a time. It's another I want to make a day out of it kind of situation. Root, which I have Clockwork expansion and Exiles of Persons for, but that's it. I mainly have it for the solo play Clockwork. Um, if I'm serious about wanting to play it more, I might look into the expansions, but that's a maybe. Um, Diplomacy, which I have yet to play with anyone. For what it's worth, I like having it as kind of a historical piece in my gaming collection. And just, you know, history in the form of a board game is always kind of interesting. Um, the Night Cage, I've yet to play it with anyone. I got it early last year, or no, early this year, because I was wondering where the hell it was. I thought it had come out and it's going to be out on Halloween, and I never got to find a copy. And just like, okay, I'm ordering this shit online. I'm tired of waiting. Runebound Second Edition, which I've gotten to play once this year. It didn't end on the note it should have ended on. It ended kind of early because it was taking a while, and I think I'd have to play it next time with the Doom track, just so the game freaking ends. I think what we ended up doing at the time was whoever had the most experience tokens, most of the level up tokens for like increasing your stats, and then whatever's any tie there is broken by experience. The unspent experience. That's one anyway. I've got expansions for it. I don't know how much more I want to go out of my way to find them because we're gonna have to sleeve the cards and all that. And it's like, yeah, sleeving cards is expensive as hell over a long period of time. It's a little bit per game, and then every game just adds up, adds up, adds up. Yeah. Great Western Trail. I've played it once or twice this year. I might have played it once last year, but at the very least, I played it once this year. It's a decent game. I'll probably hold on to it for now. Um, yeah, I think I'll hold on to it. It's not a bad game, but that one's also kind of on the longer end, like Planet Steam level. The game is going to end. It's just sometimes it might take a while depending on what people are doing to go up that trail because you have all this movement you could potentially take, but you could end up just going one space every turn and just doing all the little things over time before you get to the end of the trail. A little break. Okay, and then there's Fallout, which I just got again this year after previously owning before. Unfortunately, it's still the first edition with the freaking misprints. But I made it a point to get New California because the expansion stuff is always good. But most importantly, Atomic Bonds. So you have this fully cooperative experience, and I don't know, I think I like the cooperative experience a lot more than the agenda system. As I've said in that episode, it's the agendas are what turn it from feeling like being in a story to feel like playing a game. But there might be one to test out next year. There's Game of Thrones, which I did get to play last year. I managed to play it twice in the same day because there was only 3 of us. I would love to play it with 6 to 8 players, or with 4 players and do the Clash of Kings scenario. Yeah, it's the one with Stark, Lannister, Baratheon, and Aaron. That's one I'd like to try. Then there's Warcraft, the board game, which I just got again this year. Oh yeah, I got it like way early this year, and I still have yet to play it with anyone at the game store this year because of it's 4 players, and there's that whole cooperative humans and elves versus orcs and undead thing that just feels kind of forced. But then again, a 4-player free-for-all for that game might be a little too hard. A little bit too rough, I think. I don't know. There's Britannia, which I got this year. I didn't play my copy this year. I played someone else's copy. And remembering what that game was like after playing it in a previous year, I was like, okay, I'm going to find my own copy. Let's check eBay, of course. Revolution. This is my second time owning it. This year, I was able to find not just one expansion, but the other expansion. Actually, I think was it when I got it, the Revolution used? It already came with one expansion. Was it the Citadel, or it was the expansion that's like this huge building, I think. I forget. But I was surprised when I found the other expansion, Anarchy. So the game is still 6 players, but now there's the option to go either one direction or the other for something extra in the middle. It's another one that's kind of feels like it's hard to really talk at all during the game because either you're placing your bids or you're resolving them. And then, yeah, you want to pay attention to what people are actually trying to buy and what you think you can get for cheap next time. There's Acquire the 3M Bookshelf one. I've yet to play my 3M Bookshelf one. I've played the other one in previous years. The one they have the game store, the demo shelf, which is it's a nice little game. Let's see here. We've got Silverton, which I just got this year. I tried to run it this year, and I couldn't do it. But I like the solo mode in that one. If you ever need to like kill several hours while like watching something else, the Denver solo campaign is nice. There's Sanctum. Ooh, excuse me. I think I've played it once this year. I played it at least once or twice in the previous year. Ooh, excuse me. The creator of that one also has a game called Adrenaline, which I'm very, very tempted to get one more time. Get that in the expansion. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk about what I'm looking at getting at the end of this. Lords of Waterdeep, I want to say I've played it at least once this year. If nothing else, I've played it many times in previous years. And I've got the expansion, which that's quite a bit. Some of the lords are just they seem really hard to use, though, if you get stuck with them. Which is why I want to add in the house rule of if we're playing with the expansions, you get 2 freaking lords and you get to pick one. Seems kind of a messed up thing to say. You just get handed a lord and you have to deal with it. No. They might have other reasons. Concordia, which I was very happy to get this year, and played that for the league and everything. That's what I'm definitely holding on to it, but whether or not I get expansions it's going to be up in the air. Again, money issues next year. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure on just what's going to happen next year. We're in the post-holiday slump of work, so hours are going to be crap. We'll see what happens. Then there's Hyperborea. Thankfully, that one was complete, or it is complete. Instead of a previous version I had where I had to replace all the freaking wooden cubes with completely different cubes. It's a decent game. It's just I'd like to play it next year. I think I brought it with me once this year, and I think someone else's game went out for playing. I played it in a previous year at least once. Whether or not it's good for the board game league, it's not stupid complicated like some stuff. But the question is time. Yeah. And then there's Eclipse, which I got this year with. It had one expansion with it. I went out of my way to get other expansions. I know there's another edition, but I've got this edition. I don't need to try for anything else. I have not gotten to play it, is the thing. At least not this year. I played it in previous years. I'd like to play the version I'd like to play what I have with the expansions. Stuff that's like kind of crazy, like the time distortions and mutations and all that. That might be a game to look at playing next year. Clash of Cultures, which I've gotten to play 3 times. I've played it twice this year. I played it once previous year. I've owned a previous edition of the game, which I've played at least once. So I'm glad I got as much mileage out of it as I've gotten so far. I definitely want to play it next year. It's probably too long for the board game league, but it's such a nice game. I love the pieces for it and everything. I'm definitely holding on to it. No way in hell I'm getting rid of that one. No way. Terraforming Mars. I've played my version, um, or my copy, a number of times in previous years. I've played the game in general. I want to say at least once this year, at least. And I've played it in previous years a lot. It's a game. It's just there's so many possibilities, and you never know what possibilities you're going to end up with in a given session. You know, different corporations, different project cards, different sections of Mars, different colonies, different turmoil. It's a different prelude. It's it's a game I'm holding on to. Period. There's no argument. I'm not getting rid of my copy. Um, let's see. StarCraft. I played it once this year. I would like to play it more. It is a hard game to get people interested in playing. But I would like to at least run it one more time next year. There's a lot of games I'd like to run next year, and it's just what do I prioritize? There's the league. There's Saturdays. Um, there's just coming in on Tuesdays. Um, yeah. I know another good Saturday one that I've got is Descent. I want to say I picked it up last year. It was used for a decent price. No expansions for it, and it's Descent the first edition. I'm not interested in getting second. I'm sure as hell not getting the recent edition, but it's one I'd like to run because I like being the bad guy. I'd be the overlord to run the dungeon, or find someone who wants to run it for me, so I can be his be a hero player. Um, I would like to find the Road to Legend expansion at the very least. Was it? There's Altar, there's Well, there's Tomb of Ice, there's Sea of Blood, and then there's the Designer book. If if I can get any of those as well, that would be nice. Um, then there's Horizon Zero Dawn, which I've been collecting the living crap out of this year. I have yet to bring it to the game store. It is all the stuff that I own for it occupies a gigantic plastic box. So the question is, do I bring the whole thing with me, or do I just bring what I need for a given setup? I guess I make more cardstock boxes for the player cards and everything. Um, that's it for actual board games. I will cover my collectible games too. Cloud Fantasy, which I still have my eye on a booster box. I still have a fabric mat that I'm making for it. I've yet to play it. I want to. I really, really want to. It is a silly, silly game, and I think it's awesome, and it deserves more love, despite being a dead game. I've gotten into Flesh and Blood this year. I've yet to play it with anyone. I don't know if I'm going to seriously try to play it, or if I'm going to try to get rid of the cards. I don't know. I don't know. It was a curiosity. Um, I'm more likely to hold on to my Hololive Vice Schwartz cards and possibly get one final booster box. I just I love Hololive. Damn it! I want more of these cards. Of course, it's stupidly expensive. I was lucky to get the first three boxes as cheap as I could. like 100. So, but I'm looking at Amazon. It's like, oh shit, that's not gonna work. So, games I am looking at getting um, for next year. I have a board game coming in end of the month called Arcana. I am very, very excited to get that game again. I'm gonna have to remake the player mats because, um, so in the game there's like these districts, and you play your cards in alignment with where you're sitting. I like having the play mats as just kind of a organizational thing. I like organizing stuff, so it helps. But I'm starting to think I should get my own laminator because last time I I brought him to Staple. Okay, I made these cardstock mats and I filled in with colored pencil. I was going to take him to get laminated, and Staples was like really freaking reluctant to do it. It's like, are you I'm willing to pay you. I'm willing to accept the risk. Let's laminate the fuckers. Come on. But they eventually laminated them. Of course, I paid for it. But if I'm serious about really doing more with these board game designs, I might just have to get my own laminator. Um. So yeah, there's Arcana. There's since I brought it up, Adrenaline might be one I try to get one more time. It's an interesting game. There's no dice. It's a sort of a first-person shooter experience. The only other games I've seen like that were, the Doom board game has like the older Doom board game, which is based on Doom 3, had an expansion that introduced deathmatch mode. The more recent Doom game doesn't actually feature a deathmatch mode, but it has enough frag tokens that you'd think there would be one. There's probably one in the pipeline. And then, they lost the rights to the game. So it kind of sucks. There's probably homebrew rules by like dozens of people on BGG. Yeah, it kind of sucks that Fantasy Flight closed their forums. I miss those times. Uh, so yeah, there's Arcana that's coming. Adrenaline is a maybe. Um, Ventura, a game of Italian soldiers of fortune. Well, it's an interesting game that the map is being built over the course of the game. Even though there's like some starter stuff. You're trying to get glory, and you can get glory by, I think, having certain terrain or certain winning battles or something. But the big thing for getting glory is actually spending money. You spend money that you know there's a lot to spend on certain stuff, and you pretty much buy your way to victory. It's got a weird combat system, and the pieces are hard to read, which is why I went out of my way to paint the last ones I had. And I wish I could find my old copy again. I considered asking the person I know who has my old copy of Arcana for it, but I decided, you know what, let him have it. And finally, Age of Conan. Age of Conan is a risk-like conquest game of a lot of random shit, and it's kind of fun in that sense. It is just dripping with flavor. You've got characters from the stories, and Conan is just this force of nature moving from location to location on his way to his destination. And you're trying to get story tokens that you can either spend on money or spells, spell power. But if you have them, you can put them towards getting one of the three treasures: um, the sword, the heart, or the crown. And those help you with other stuff. That's that one's a big maybe. It's I kind of miss having it, but at the same time, it's like, am I really gonna get to play it? I'm hoping. I just want to play more games next year. I kind of burned this year on trying to make crap for YouTube and everything else, and I'm starting to debate if continuing this path on YouTube is worth it. Uh, as far as content goes for the future, I still have the random ass condoms that I don't know if I want to build. I might just see about trading them with somebody. And then I have my birthday next month. Holy shit. Where did the time go? I think a lot of it's going to just hinge on um, what kind of resources I'll have available and my general interest. I was seeing, their Holo Pro put out that reminder. Hey, we're still auditioning people for um, Hololive English. There's in Holostars English, and for Holostars, they featured the Tempest Boys, which I'm so happy for those guys. So happy. But I don't know if that's a path I can really afford to go down in terms of having the resources to make it work and just the time and the interest in doing stuff. With I just I don't know, right now I'm more happy just watching people than trying to join them too much. But who knows what happens next year? Anyway, so yeah, I think that covers all the board games I currently have and everything else. I do want to focus on my game designs for sure. Get them finished, get them tested. If I can get even one game published, that will swing everything in my favor. I know I need to get better internet. This house, we're using CenturyLink, and it's 100 megabits, and that's not enough. It's not enough if I'm gonna actually want to try a stream. I might just just to see if it's possible one more time stream. I have no clue what I'm going to do, but it's worth trying. I think I might be able to make it work, or it's just gonna suck ass. Who knows? It's just I need to have more confidence in my shit. I just need to try. Because if I try, that's better than, not trying. You never know how far, how high you can jump until you actually jump. So, that's what I'll be doing. So, what I'll be doing next year is trying my best with YouTube or trying to get more games going at the store, trying to play the games that I currently have, and just maybe going out more and trying to find people just to talk to. If I can get them to at least stop in at the game store and maybe even watch a game, that's something. But no pressure. Work is going to be interesting next year. I'm so hoping nothing bad happens. I can't afford to look for another job right now. I don't like the job search feeling. So I'm just hoping it holds up. So anyway, if you're at this point, thank you very much for listening. This has been Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator. See you next time.